Hello and welcome to another episode of the Organic Adventure Show. I am your host, Cy Rodriguez, and today we're going to talk a little bit about iron, and specifically iron absorption. So many people know there are two different forms of iron in food. One of them is heme iron, which is available in many animal products, and cow's milk is not one of them. It's actually pretty low in cow's milk, but it's present in a lot of animal foods. And then there's non-heme iron. Now, non-heme iron is free iron. Heme iron is connected to a hemoglobin molecule. And in that state, it's more easily absorbed into the body. Whereas non-heme iron or free iron is not as easily absorbed into the body because it doesn't have a chelator and it can be inhibited by some things in different foods. So starting off though, what are some really good sources of iron if you are just needing to get your iron levels up? Some of the foods that contain good amounts of iron are beans, greens, chlorella, spirulina, hemp seeds, raisins, and dried apricots. And then there's many fruits, vegetables, seeds, beans, and grains that provide some iron, and some of the following are examples of those. And those are avocados, blackberries, cherries, kiwis, strawberries, watermelon, bok choy, kale, spinach, amaranth, buckwheat, oats, spelt, wheat, soybeans, French beans, lima beans, and most beans are some sources of the free iron. Now, if you want to uptake more of that iron, the thing that you want to do is add foods with vitamin C into the meals that you're eating that contain non-heme iron. And then you can up it by, some people say 20 times, some people say like 200%. One way or another, you can increase the availability of the iron that is in your foods. And one of the good things is you don't really have to worry about it too much, because most people who are deficient in iron will absorb more iron even from non-heme sources because their body really needs it. So that's kind of the wisdom of the body, I guess. You can also increase the absorption of iron by cooking with a cast iron skillet, and tomatoes are one of the known fruits when cooked in cast iron. So if you were making maybe a tomato sauce and you were to let it brew for a little while in your cast iron skillet, that would help it to absorb a lot of the iron from the skillet as well. Now, different foods contain different amounts of phytic acid and other types of inhibitors that might inhibit your iron from being absorbed. But you don't really have to worry about it, because even where inhibitors were present, for example, in wheat, people still absorbed about 1/2 of the amount of iron that was available. So instead of 3 grams, for example, in a serving, they might have got 1.5 grams. But that's still a considerable amount of iron that you can up with adding vitamin C to it. You can also get phytic acid from green and black teas. So the phytic acid, like in the wheat, just prevents you from absorbing as much of the non-heme iron. So when you're eating foods, you might not want to drink tea, like green and black teas, in the same time that you have your meal, because you might inhibit more absorption of the iron. So that's another key. This is the other side too. That is just a little insight. Whenever you eat a green smoothie, you are getting, for the most part, greens which have iron in them, and you're getting your fruits which have vitamin C in them. And if you blend those up together, then you're going to help to get more of the iron out of your greens because of the vitamin C present in your green smoothies. So just any kind of fruit with greens and water is good. And the darker the greens, the better is usually the case in terms of the amount of iron in them. So, what is the lesson here? First of all, eat lots of fruits and vegetables and greens and nuts and beans, and this is going to give you a wide variety of sources of both iron and vitamin C. And vitamin C helps your non-heme iron absorption, so you want to include those together. If you really need something bad, then using a cast iron skillet can help to get more iron in you. And of course, using smoothies combines the fruits and the greens, which are many times a good source of iron. So there you have some new thoughts or good thoughts about how you can increase your iron absorption and how you can even do it without eating meat if that's what you want to do. Thank you so much for watching, and may every day be an adventure in health.